Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to another video of mine, and today we're talking about Red Earth. So let's get into it. Now, with the recent release and success of Capcom's fighting collection, multiple games have been brought back into the public eye. And one of the more interesting games on that list is one called Red Earth. And for those who don't know, Red Earth is a 1996 Capcom fighting game where you basically play as one of four main characters, Kenji, Tessa, Mai-Ling, and Leo, against a series of boss enemies. And while both the graphics and the fighting in this game are both great, what I want to talk about here is the story. And that's because each of our four protagonists has an amazing story to tell. So good, in fact, I started thinking, hey, what if these guys each had their own movies? So, just like what we did for Street Fighter last time on this channel, be sure to go check that out, we are going to be doing now for Red Earth. But before we begin, guys, this is how many views I've gotten on this channel in the past 90 days. You see it? And this is how much of those views come from people who are subscribed to me. You know what to do.
No mercy. Attack!
Kicking off this film series, we have Red Earth Genesis Tessa. And to anyone asking why I didn't just call it Red Earth Origins Tessa, well, I don't want these movies associated with a different kind of movie. But anyway, the main story of this movie is going to follow Tessa as she attempts to find out the reason behind several unknown and unnatural occurrences across the globe. And this will eventually lead her to the main villains of the movie, Hydron and Gigi. Now I chose Hydron because canonically in-game, Tessa and Hydron are actually from the same place, and he is the first villain you face if you pick Tessa for the arcade mode. And as for Gigi, well, Tessa is actually highly implied to be the smartest out of the four protagonists, and Gigi is an ancient war machine meant to protect hidden secrets. I don't think it's too much of a stretch to say that Tessa would be interested in fighting Gigi. But anyway, after defeating both Hydron and Gigi, Tessa finally gets to see what Gigi is hiding and what is causing all the disturbances around the world. And what it turns out to be is the secret laboratory of the game's final boss, Skion.
These nuts! Yes! I was waiting for it!
Now, I will talk more about Skion later, but for right now, just know that he is the final boss of the game, regardless of what path you're taking. Now, as for the end of the movie, it's basically going to end with Tessa's bad ending from Red Earth, where she finds Skion's laboratory, but accidentally gets mind-controlled by one of Skion's test subjects. And this is important for two reasons. One, it ends the movie on an important cliffhanger, and two, it establishes a villain in Red Earth series that isn't a monster, but also isn't the final villain, which is also going to be important later down the line. Now that wraps up Tessa's movie, now on to the second one.
No mercy. Attack!
Next up is Red Earth Genesis Leo, following the main character of Red Earth, Leo. And I know there is no real main character, but come on guys, the lion imagery in this game is not subtle. But I digress. Anyway, for the plot of this movie, we're basically going to be following Leo as he tries to reclaim his throne after Skion and his army took over his nation. But soon after defeating Hauser, the dinosaur that wants to be a dragon, Leo's plans quickly shift as he finds out that his top general, Blade, has been kidnapped by Skion. But once Leo finds Blade, he's not the same man he once knew. Blade has been completely corrupted by Skion, and after a great long fight with Leo trying to save Blade and Blade trying to kill Leo, the battle eventually ends with Blade's final breath. The movie then ends with Leo swearing vengeance upon Skion for the death of his friend, and swears that he will find a way to save anyone who would share Blade's fate. And that, my friends, is Leo's movie. Well, time to move on to the next one.
No mercy. Attack!
We are now on our third movie of this list, Red Earth Genesis Mai-Ling. And this movie is going to follow the young martial artist as she attempts to save the children of her now destroyed home from the clutches of Skion and his experiments. But this movie is a bit different from the other two, as unlike the other two, this one only has one main villain. That villain, of course, being the person you're seeing on screen right now, Lavia. And Lavia was a girl just like Mai-Ling who was taken from her village and experimented on by Skion until he eventually brainwashed her to work for him. But once Lavia is defeated, with her final words, she tells Mai-Ling where the children are being kept and where Skion is. And thus, the movie ends with Mai-Ling embarking on a journey to save the children and defeat Skion. Oh yeah, she also gets a dog on the way too. He's cute. He's named Tin. And now on to the next movie.
No mercy. Attack.
The final solo movie on this list, we have Red Earth Genesis Kenji. And in this movie, we're going to be following the main character, whose name is, and say it with me now, Kenji.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But anyway, great jokes aside, the plot is going to follow Kenji as he attempts to uncover a conspiracy involving his boss, Naosuke. I hope I pronounced that right. And while in the process of investigating Naosuke, he has to stop other threats that are arising too, like his former rival, Tanuma/Kongo, from terrorizing a village. And if stopping Tanuma while investigating Naosuke wasn't enough, he also has to stop Clara, or Revenge.
It's revenge, and it's best served cold.
First of all, no it's not. It's spelled with an A. And second of all, it's not served cold. Revenge lives in Sanjipt, which is probably the most unoriginal name I've ever heard. But terrible naming aside, Kenji goes to defeat Revenge, but figures out it's a trap sent to him by Naosuke. But by the end of the movie, Kenji has a dilemma. Should he just go along with Naosuke's plans and get himself killed because Naosuke is his superior? Or should he kill Naosuke for his crimes? But before Kenji can go home and make up his mind, he's called onto another mission to escort the King Leo to Darmanor, the place where Skion lives. Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the endgame now, as we have now reached our penultimate movie.
Round 2. Fight.
The second to last movie on this list, we have Red Earth Beware the Mage Lord. And you know things are serious now because I stopped naming movies after people. Well, I mean, I guess that's not entirely true. I mean, Tessa is the Mage Lord, but that doesn't matter. Fun fact, while I was making these movies, one of the titles I was considering for this movie was Red Earth Boss Rush. And now that you know that title, you can probably tell what the main premise of the movie is about. And even if you don't worry, I got you. See, the main plot of this movie is going to follow Kenji and Leo as they attempt to go to Darmanor in order to stop Skion. But on their way, they're stopped by Mai-Ling, who they then pick up as a passenger after a lot of convincing. But once Tessa, that's a face you haven't seen in a while, gets wind that the three are trying to stop Skion, and if they do that, then her pet parasite will die, she's going to try everything she can in order to stop them. And that includes bringing back every single boss character that has been defeated so far, ranging from Tanuma, Hydron, Clara, Lavia, Hauser, Gigi, and Blade. So not only do each of our heroes need to save Tessa and rush through each of the boss battles, see what I did there? They also have to destroy Tessa's pet in order to stop her mind control, because right now, she is probably the strongest out of the four of them. So how on earth can our heroes manage this Herculean task? Because I said so. I'm the one writing the stories here.
No mercy. Attack.
At long last, we've finally arrived. The last movie of the film series, Red Earth, the final boss. And in this movie, Tessa, Leo, Kenji, and Mai-Ling all gear up to finally take down Skion and his new minions, because one fight should not last 90 minutes. And what I mean by Skion's army of minions is not really an army at all. It's really 4 alternative versions of our heroes, as you can see on screen right now. And where did these pictures come from? They're not in the game. they're in the end credits scene if you beat the game without having to use a single revive. And although we really don't know what these characters are for since Red Earth never got a sequel, for the purposes of this story, we're just going to say that Skion made these duplicates as he wants to quote-unquote fix humanity, and this is what he imagines. Stronger versions of our heroes. And as to what happens during the ending, well, I'll leave that to you guys just like last time. Do you want an ending where everyone lives, or do you want an ending where everyone dies? Tell me what you think down below. And if you have any more video games that you want me to turn into a film series, let me know down below. Please, I love your comments. I always heart them. Let me know down below. And one more time from me, guys, be sure to like, subscribe, check out my channel if you liked this video, and until next time, goodbye.